Utah. Most people think of national parks, Red Rock Canyons, Arches, Zion, Bryce, the kind of scenery that ends up on screensavers and calendars. But in a remote valley in the northeastern corner of the state, a place called the Uinta Basin, the United States government spent tens of millions of dollars studying a single cattle ranch. They didn't advertise it. They didn't publish what they found. And when the scientists they sent came back, some of them didn't want to talk about it at all. This is dark geography. The property is 512 acres in the Uinta Basin, near a small town called Ballard, Utah. Population just over 500. The basin sits at roughly 4,700 feet elevation. Dry, flat, enormous sky. The kind of landscape that makes a person feel genuinely small. The Ute people have lived in this basin for thousands of years. Some estimates place human presence here at 8,000 years or more. The Ute have a name for the phenomena that occur in this valley. They don't discuss it with outsiders. What we know is this: they refused to set foot on this specific parcel of land for generations. The reason, as it was explained to researchers, was simple. The land was cursed. In 1776, before the United States existed, a Franciscan missionary named Silvestre Vélez de Escalante was moving through this region. He wrote about it in his journals. Strange fireballs appearing over the campfire at night, things in the sky that had no explanation. He documented it. He moved on. For 2 more centuries, the reports continued. UFO sightings in the basin became so routine that researchers eventually gave the area a name. They called it UFO Alley. In the early 1990s, a cattle rancher named Terry Sherman moved his family to the property. His wife, Gwen, their 2 children, a working ranch, a fresh start. Within weeks, something was wrong. The cattle began dying, not in the ordinary way. The mutilations were surgical, precise. Organs removed through incisions that a veterinarian later described as methodical. No blood, not at the site. Not in the surrounding soil, not anywhere on the property. Science notes that level of clean tissue removal requires either extraordinary tools or extraordinary time. The Shermans had no evidence of either. Then there were the lights, objects in the sky, not aircraft, not satellites, not anything with a conventional explanation, moving in ways that didn't correspond to anything in the catalog of known aerial technology. Hovering, accelerating instantly, disappearing. Then there was the wolf. Terry Sherman encountered an animal on the property he described as a wolf, except 3 times the size of any wolf on record. He shot it at close range, multiple times. The animal showed no reaction, no blood, no wound. It walked away. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, there is no question that the Sherman family left that property after 18 months, having documented events that no veterinary, law enforcement, or wildlife authority was able to explain. In June 1996, Terry and Gwen told their story to a local reporter. They were not seeking fame, they were seeking answers. They never fully got them. They weren't the first family to leave. They wouldn't be the last. And the people who came after them weren't ranchers. They were scientists. Within 3 months of the Sherman story going public, a Las Vegas real estate developer named Robert Bigelow purchased the property for $200,000. Bigelow was not an ordinary buyer. He was a billionaire with a documented serious interest in aerospace and the paranormal. He immediately established round-the-clock surveillance of the ranch under an organization called the National Institute for Discovery Science. Cameras, motion sensors, researchers on site at all hours. A systematic attempt to apply scientific methodology to what the Shermans had described. What followed over the next several years was detailed in a book called Hunt for the Skinwalker, co-authored by biochemist Colm Kelleher, one of the researchers stationed at the property. On the night of March 12, 1997, Kelleher encountered something in the tree line, a large humanoid creature. Approximately 50 yards away, 20 feet off the ground, it was motionless, watching. He described 2 yellow eyes, penetrating, unblinking, fixed on the research team in the darkness. He fired at it. The creature disappeared. In the snow beneath the tree, the team found a single track, one print, approximately 6 inches in diameter, 2 sharp claw impressions at the rear, driven deep into the snow from something of significant weight. Not a boot print, not a paw print, nothing in any wildlife catalog matched it. Science writes it down. Science just doesn't always publish what it finds. In 2007, the United States Department of Defense quietly initiated a program called the Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Applications Program, AAWSAP. The program was run out of the Defense Intelligence Agency by a scientist named Dr. James Lakatsky. The budget, later confirmed through congressional testimony, was $22 million. The primary research site was Skinwalker Ranch. The DIA designated the property as a living laboratory, a location where phenomena of unknown origin were occurring with enough frequency and consistency to warrant sustained scientific observation. Lakatsky and his team visited the ranch. What he encountered during those visits has been described in congressional testimony and in a government-sourced book titled Skinwalkers at the Pentagon. The program ran from 2008 to 2010. The full findings were classified. What leaked out through congressional hearings, FOIA requests, and the testimony of the program's own participants was enough to confirm one thing with certainty. The United States government did not conclude that nothing was happening at Skinwalker Ranch. They concluded the opposite, and then they stopped talking about it. Researchers across multiple investigations documented the following, independently and repeatedly: electromagnetic anomalies, readings that spiked without identifiable source and could not be replicated under controlled conditions; livestock disappearances, animals that were on the property at dusk and simply absent by morning; no tracks, no evidence of predation; objects in the sky that were captured on multiple cameras from multiple angles simultaneously; objects that accelerated beyond any known aerial threshold and left no thermal signature; poltergeist activity inside the main homestead; objects moving without physical cause, documented on surveillance equipment; and a persistent documented effect on the researchers themselves, a pattern of disorientation, intrusive thoughts, and health events in team members stationed on the property for extended periods. The ranch changed ownership again in 2016. It was purchased by Utah businessman Brandon Fugel, who has since opened it to further scientific investigation. The phenomena continue to be reported. Whatever this land is doing, it has been doing it for a very long time. The Ute people refused to enter this land for generations, not because of superstition, because of memory, because somewhere in the oral history of a people who lived here for 8,000 years, there was a record of what this place does to the people who get too close. The Shermans lasted 18 months. The scientists lasted 2 years. The government classified what it found and moved on. The land is still there. 512 acres in a remote Utah valley that looks, from the air, like everywhere else. It is not like everywhere else. Some places carry a weight that doesn't show up on any map. That doesn't care how much surveillance equipment you point at it. That has been here long before us and will be here long after. Skinwalker Ranch is one of those places. We don't know what it is. We're not sure we're meant to. This was Dark Geography. Subscribe and we'll take you somewhere else entirely next time. Where should we go? Leave it in the comments. We're always listening.